Welcome welcome all to episode 43 of the Wrestling Council, brought to you each and every week by our good friends at the Outright Geekery Podcast Network. You can check them out at outrightgeekery.com, and we are now streaming on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, working on iTunes. Not there yet, but we are there. But if you're on any of those platforms, you want to check us out, we are streaming each and every week to them. And also want to acknowledge our good friends over at Planet EJOBN. Salute to my man, Jamal Baraka. This is very generous to share his platform. We're going to be creating some other live streams. Will be this podcast. You'll see this. You'll see I'll have a football podcast, and we'll just be doing other things and just doing like interviewing comic creators and stuff like that. Like this book here, this is my book Brand. It is currently on Indiegogo right now. You can check it out at akaripress.com. And now that all the introductions are out of the way, obviously, whatever platform you are watching us on, please drop a like and get in the chat and be part of this podcast. You guys are what make this fun. Let's go around and introduce our not yet ready for primetime players. To the right of me, he is a comic shop owner and just he's just a good dude, man. I like this guy.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. On occasion, you will see a character we know as Dark Universe Yule, Heel Yule. He has a t-shirt now. Yule Carter, how are you, Yule?
I'm wonderful. I'm really looking forward to talking about this really horrible week of wrestling.
And let me see, hold up. Facebook user says, when is Brand getting shipped? I don't know who this person is. I'm like, Facebook user, whoever you are, I can solve that for you because I'm preparing the next shipment now. If you want to actually find that out, why don't you send me a message and I'll get yours in the next shipment. How about that? Hope that answers your question. All right, let's go down to Comic Book Bob. And Comic Book Bob, welcome to the Wrestling Council again. You've been here for a while now, but how are you, sir?
It's like this and like that and like this, you know.
Oh no,
doing good, baby, doing good.
Bob kills it.
And then okay,
I'm so white.
That's a fact.
You're killing it, man. I'm like, okay, and obviously, my partner in crime. From the Talking Balls Network, we alternate this podcast between his channel and my channel. So I'm hosting this week. I'll also be hosting the horror show at Extreme Rules on Sunday. That will be here as well. We're going to live stream that. You guys will hang out with us on Sunday. Oh no, you don't want to see the swamp match?
The eye for an eye match?
There's never been a more
I can't wait.
Match.
I can't wait to get into that. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Boogie Bentley, how are you, Boogie?
Oh, man, I'm fantastic. Glad to be here. Like Yule said, it was a very mediocre, underwhelming week of wrestling, but we're going to talk about it. We got all kinds of merch dropping that I'm excited to share with you guys. And I just want to give a shout out to Comic Book Bob for doing the Lord's work over on the Talking Balls Network with the New Japan Report, getting close to 1,000 views on his New Japan Report. I encourage you to jump over there, check it out.
Wow, bravo,
and just
Bob.
shout out to Bob for putting work in, man. And I got an Impact report coming a little bit later, so stick around.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's do that.
I watched Impact this week.
I did not.
I'm sorry that you did.
It was bad.
Sorry.
Oh no, Yule is his heel persona is spreading to the chat. We have Hill Lawson in the chat.
Actually, Hill Lawson is the original. Sorry, Yule.
No, hey, no problem. I mean, I was being a heel just in another territory. You just didn't know about it at the time.
Can we do this now while we're talking about it? Because it's kind of funny. Now's the time to do it.
Let's pull it up. Boom.
When you're talking about heels, there's this certain character, and if you guys have seen the emoji, we added some shades, and all of a sudden a heel was born. I encourage you to check it out. The link is in the chat over there. The Heel Yule shirt. I'm going to be picking one up. I think it's an amazing design. I love it. I love everything about it. I don't like Heel Yule, but I love this t-shirt. If you guys keep supporting us, we sold several of the official logo shirts. We're actually going back to print in 2 weeks on another one. So check it out. All the links are in the description, in the chat, or you can follow us at Wrestle Council on Twitter to get all your merch. That's enough plugs. All we're doing is plugs. That's enough plugs.
Oh, now we about to get into the show now. So let's start at the beginning. We start with Friday Night SmackDown. Not a very good show. I did not enjoy SmackDown this week. I don't know about you guys though that watched it. The ratings have been about 1.6, 1.7-ish or so. Obviously
Oh my
down
God,
from the
guys.
reviews last year.
Oh wait, who's here?
Oh no.
That
Oh,
is
no.
amazing that we are talking about 1. I know I've said this before, 1.7. So, I've listened to a lot of wrestling podcasts. I mean, I've been doing it since like 2000. I've been listening to podcasts over the internet and whatnot. And, they were talking about ratings all this time. And, there were all those glory years of, 6s and 7s. And then each year it drops a little. And it's like, well, it's 4, but it's never been, it hasn't been a 3, 5 in, 13, or whatever straight weeks, and whatnot. And now it's 2. And now it's like, God, if you can get to 2.
Shit.
Now we're talking.
Dude, they barely made it past 1.5.
I mean,
However, they did announce that Fox has decided to renew SmackDown for another season. That was although they canceled that one show that was on FS1, the one with Renee Young and all that.
And Punk, Punk. I wonder how much they paid Punk and then turn around and cancel the show.
Regardless of, I don't give a crap how you spin it. Lowest ratings for the show in its history. Period.
Is that SmackDown or Raw? I know Raw.
Raw.
Yeah. Because look, ratings are going down, but when you're looking week to week and they continue to go down from what you're normally doing in 2020, you got a problem.
Yeah. And here's the thing: NXT is back to pre-COVID levels, so you can't blame COVID for this now anymore.
Wait,
They
but that was
dropped it
just
way
one
off
show.
this week.
That was
way off this week.
Yeah, that's true. But before this, it was at pre-COVID levels, so you can't blame COVID for this anymore. I'm sorry, it's not an excuse anymore.
What pisses me off about SmackDown is last week we talked about what a great show they had. They featured wrestling matches. They were great wrestling matches. And then this week you come out with just trash from top to bottom. And it's you're showing a replay of Bray Wyatt and Strowman at Money in the Bank. Like, why? Why are you wasting 20 minutes? 20 minutes, and then you follow that up by going into a karaoke showdown. Come on, this is why your ratings are going down.
Dude,
Karaoke showdown.
Are they trying to tank the show? I mean, is that what it is?
Dude, it's how bad
that's the go-home show?
It's telling when them putting on a good show is an anomaly.
Well, it's the show.
Yeah, you're shocked. You're shocked. You sit down to watch SmackDown last week.
You're pleasantly
like, what is going on? It's like I said last week, Jim. In the words of Jim Cornette, a wrestling show broke out. What happened? What is this?
Well, and it started off with a Morrison and Miz segment, and whether you like those or don't like them, this is one of their worst ones I think they've had, and that's including that whole bit where they were smashing up Strowman's car.
Well, yeah, I gotta do this. Hollywood in the chat. Somebody call my mama. I hate
If
that
we
song.
broke into karaoke, Antonio would destroy us all. Wouldn't even be close.
Well,
You can
he's
actually
willing to
sing,
do it
man.
also.
Yeah, well, you can actually sing though. You got.
Hollywood and me came up with your theme song, Boogie. It'd be Eddie Murphy's "Boogie in Your Butt."
Oh man!
Oh, what just happened?
Put the boogie in your butt.
Is that the next T-shirt? I don't know.
Put the boogie in your butt.
Put the boogie in your butt.
Wow.
I can't take credit for that, man. That was all Hollywood right there, man.
Oh God, that would be hilarious.
I got nothing else to say about SmackDown if I'm being honest with you.
Dude, it was awful, man. I actually had to go. I watched the replay of it to catch the rest of it because as soon as that karaoke came on, I was like, all right, I'm out. I'm done. I got better things to do.
Okay, it looks like they are trying to turn the sassy Southern Belle back into a heel. Are we?
Imagine that. Just at the drop of a hat. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
There's no real. There was no real babyface turn. It's just. Yeah, Adam
Exactly.
on it. Musical chairs, and it's musical chairs turning heel and babyface. It's like it's almost like they tell the developmental talent in the crowd, all right, you got to boo this person and cheer this person this week, and it's like now I'm supposed to just know they're a babyface or a heel. It's so broken. They're so broken.
Well, I mean, all right. So, and not to get to NXT too much, but the main event with Io Shirai and Tegan Nox, it was that same way, because Io's kind of been facey recently.
Yeah.
And then now she's immediately against Tegan Nox. She's playing the heel role.
Right. Even slapping the hand away, they won't shake hands.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
you completely change your character.
I like that when it makes sense for them, but now just all of a sudden this person's playing this character.
Yeah. But in front of a live audience, when you do that, the next week, Io Shirai is not going to get over. Her crowd reaction as a babyface is not going to be as hot. That's why you don't book those type of matches.
If you're going to do that with a character, you got to go like the Stone Cold route.
Or go. You know that you're booking this thing. You're in control, Vince McMahon or Triple H, whoever called the shots. Book it as babyface. They should have they should have done the handshake and then shown respect and just been pure wrestling. You don't have an audience, so you don't have to worry about the crowd. And then when you finish, then you have Dakota Kai come out, hit that kick. Now you're off and running with a legit heel versus a legit babyface.
Exactly.
That's how you do it. You have to change your character.
That was and I mean, it goes right back to Lacey doing the same stuff basically. You know what? I'm going to say it right now in AEW. It goes to that. It's Cody playing that way against Sonny Kiss, and then shaking hands afterwards, and then it's getting beer poured on you, and then punching a good guy, and you're Kenny Omega. I know we're working towards something.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I'm going to sound like a real AEW fanboy. At least they are working towards something.
Well, they are, but it seems like it's the exact wrong people, and I understand, subverting expectations sometimes.
I'll tell you what, I disagree. I loved Crazy-Eyed Kenny.
I was really happy. I was happy with that.
I'm curious about that because I know I've seen a lot of people online and on the YouTube channels that I watch, like What Culture and stuff like that. They're wanting Kenny Omega to go back to heel Kenny Omega like he was. Like they loved him when he was like a heel in New Japan.
I answered a tweet about that this week where I said, well, I would rather him and Paige go heel together, but it really should be the Bucks over both of them. Personally.
No way.
No, heel Kenny is 10 times better than believe me, heel Kenny 10 times better than face Kenny.
Could you not see it in his eyes when he's he looked like a psychopath. But I'm going to put Bob over. You already did it on Twitter, so I'm going to do it here on the show. When you're talking about Cody, Brian Caraway in the chat says Cody's doing that every match. It's almost cliche now. And Bob called this a long time before I saw anybody else online, anywhere else call this. He called the Cody heel turn. And what have we seen now? Who's always in the crowd during FTR matches? Tully. Who is now also always in the crowd during Cody's matches? Tully.
Yep.
We're leading to that 4 horsemen. He needs to turn heel to do that. The stars are aligned.
Poor Arn Anderson.
Cody, that's only making it better.
That makes it better.
What better way to get him than Cody to turn on Arn Anderson?
Between him and his dad, dude,
it's perfect storytelling.
I understand what you're saying about the fact that he's like the most over babyface pretty much in the world right now. So turning him heel kind of feels weird, but the whole COVID thing just like completely flipped everything on flipped the script on everybody. More so I'm going to talk about it on the next New Japan, where more so for New Japan than anyone else. But AEW kind of take their booking style from New Japan, where they book like a long time in advance and they build these storylines slowly. So they've had to readjust. And just all the way back in like March, I think, the little teeny tiny things with Cody, like, he's a little more aggressive. He's letting this happen. He's doing this and that. They've been slowly building towards this. And the fact that he brought Arn Anderson to be his guy, his coach, and the fact that he's probably going to turn on him, I think that's great storytelling.
It's money. So Cody's your Ric Flair, and then you've got FTR as your tag team. And I know Yule disagrees, but I think Shawn Spears is a great middleman.
That makes me vomit. I understand. He's gonna be like he's like a Dean Malenko or Steve McMichael And it's like
Don't ever say those two names in the same sentence again, Antonio.
No.
Are we talking about Mongo McMichael? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're talking about Mongo McMichael, but
Don't ever compare him to Dean Malenko.
I'm right. Where we're not. I'm not comparing wrestling ability. I'm comparing.
Don't forget Paul Roma.
Personality.
Yeah, I'm comparing how over they were, because even Ric Flair was like, yeah, Mongo was a great dude. He had the personality of a horseman, but he did not have the in-ring ability of a horseman. Barry Windham was a great horseman. I liked when Windham was.
Windham was great.
Hey,
Bill
Antonio.
Malenko greater than Spears, greater than Mongo.
I have a question for you, Antonio. Or actually, I want a statement. I want to see what you think about this. I want to go a little bit back to the ratings for a second, and what a prevailing argument usually is, or a philosophy is, that the ratings that you get this week are predicated on whatever happened last week. So if you're going to get a high rating, it's not necessarily for what happened on this show, it's what happened for that other show.
Whoa, really?
And so, that's something I've heard this for a long time.
I thought the
especially with
NXT
wrestling.
ratings were high last. You asked Antonio, and I'm just cutting you off.
No, it's okay.
I thought the NXT ratings were high last week because everybody wanted to see Keith Lee and Adam Cole, right?
Yeah.
And they built this up as
won
history.
3 weeks in a row, though. They did win 3 weeks in a row.
But last week was such a big deal, and this, I'm hijacking the question.
No, it's all right.
But it's like, you make it history that Keith Lee is going to win both titles. And everybody on this show loves Keith Lee. That was awesome. Great match. Huge deal. And then what do they do with it this week? He's not even the main freaking event.
Well, he's not. And he also had a match where you knew he wasn't in real jeopardy in any way. And
you're right.
It was bad booking, and they didn't really treat... Look, it was understandable. The important match that night was the women's match.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care.
The
world title goes on last. End of story.
Well, they did a little shenanigans, because I thought at first they said it was going to be the North American belt.
No, they said it was both, right?
Oh, they did? Because
Yes.
I thought later they changed that.
No, they said
but I
winner
didn't
takes
hear it.
all.
Yeah.
So you're talking about history was
Yeah.
made last week, and now we're going to repeat it this week,
Nah,
but it's not the
bull.
main event. So you're telling me the ending before it takes place.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing, yeah.
And one thing, the reason why I think part of the reason why the ratings were so high those 2 previous weeks before the last week is because they were building up to that match.
Well, yeah, and then there was nothing for the next week.
Yeah.
And AEW had something for the next week.
It's like blowing your
They
wad.
got lucky in a way with, Ambrose or Moxley, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah,
And they kind of got lucky that they could extend this thing out for, another week.
The thing is, talking about just touching on what you said, Boogie. The way you make a title matter is you elevate its meaning, and putting the heavyweight title should be the main event every time.
End of story.
Yeah.
Even though I defended the women's match main eventing WrestleMania because I think you're making history there.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. And that you're talking about Ronda
Oh yeah,
Rousey,
like I
Becky
didn't
Lynch.
fall asleep when it was frickin' Cena and Miz. I remember being on the couch and I was like,
Oh, I love that match.
No, I did too. I'm
loved
a
it.
Miz mark. So
Me
I'm
too.
totally fine.
Me too. So I loved it. I was so
love the
excited
Miz,
about
so.
that match.
And
here's the thing.
Triple H and Jericho.
Well, since you mentioned that they're talking about doing a second Women's Evolution pay-per-view.
I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
Even though they admitted that they lost money on it because
They can't lose money anymore. It's all in the Performance Center. Who gives an F?
Well, they did the first one when the crowds were still coming, and they lost money. But it's important.
Yeah, but what's losing money? I mean, they lose money
Losing
all the
money is
time
losing
now.
money.
They got that Saudi Arabia money.
There you
Nothing
go.
else matters.
You know what? They're gonna have a women's evolution in Saudi Arabia, and they're all gonna wear tarps coming out to the ring. How you like that?
Yeah.
And
Ken
it's
Watson's got
gonna
a good
be
point
like,
here.
I might skip that one when we stream that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Skip that.
Yeah, I don't
Ken
know that we
Watson's
have to
gonna-
stream that one.
He's got a good point here. Like he's saying, like a retirement match or something like that. Like that Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels match. I can see that maybe being your main event when you got something like that. But it has to be on that level, though.
Right. There are exceptions to the rule. Tegan Knox against Io Shirai is not the exception to the rule.
Well, either is well, I don't know what to say because we know that match with Keith Lee wasn't important. It was just a match.
Why was it not
like,
important? Why
how
was
about
it not
this?
important? There was no build to it. You threw it together. It was poor booking.
All right, what was worse? What was worse? It was that title defense worse, or was Drew McIntyre against the Big Show 5 minutes later?
Yeah. Yeah, look, this is
Which
how
one was worse?
This is how I would have booked NXT.
One bowl of crap to another bowl of crap.
This is how I would have.
Sorry, I've got to find out. I want to eat just a certain amount of quality.
I would have had Keith Lee come out the same way he did, right out of the gate, and talked about how special it was to win both titles. And then out comes, if you want, whatever his name is, Dijakovic, I would have him come out, and I would have him show that mutual respect and put over Keith Lee, blah, 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 and then you owe me one, brother.
You want to know what's sad?
You want a shot at my 2 titles? I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll see you in 2 weeks, and then you build to that match, and it's your main event in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No,
if that's the match you want to do.
It's because Dijakovic is going to the main roster.
God, he is terrible.
I don't care.
He is terrible.
He's gone. This was his last match. It was goodbye. I'm going up to the top.
How many times have we seen this friggin' match? It's like there's no way he's winning this friggin' match. It's a throwaway match.
You lose and you get promoted.
Keith Lee carries him every time. Every time.
Yeah.
That's his best match.
Yeah, I said, do we know if he's going to Raw or SmackDown? Because they have ninjas on.
I think they said he's going. I think he's going to Raw.
Okay, so he'll be there with the ninjas.
Yeah.
He might be a ninja. He might be a ninja.
He might be.
Never know. That's a transition there.
Dude, you gotta wonder how much money they had to drop in front of Akira Tozawa to do that.
They told him to do it. He said okay.
He loves America.
They saw that chick. Saw that chick. They were
there was no check. They're like, here's your $500,000 you're getting paid, and you're gonna do it. He said okay.
He's all, do you want a job next year?
Are we done talking about SmackDown and Raw?
No, Raw now, the best show of the week, right?
Raw. Worst ratings, right? Worst ratings.
Yeah, worst ratings in the show's history.
Well, when you open with MVP, everybody changes the channel.
Damn.
Oh wow, I love MVP.
What is this? 2006? What year is it?
Yeah.
He sucked in his prime, dude. He sucked in his prime.
He sucked in it. Hold up, man. I got a ref for my dude.
What are you talking
about? You just made my point right there. You just made my point. What? He was terrible.
I love that. You know, he's coming out like he's a Seahawk or something.
You're not vibing right now. This shit is not right, man. I love MVP.
Top 5?
No, not no.
Is that what you said?
We're not vibing right now.
I'm sorry.
No, he's definitely not my top. He ain't even in my top 10.
I thought you were gonna say what? I was gonna say what? You talking black wrestlers?
Oh my god!
He's not even. Dude, he's not. He's not even in the top 30 black wrestlers. I can rattle up 30 black wrestlers.
30
easily.
Oh man, you know what? We're gonna have a show sometime where we're just gonna do that.
Whatever, Donkey.
Pineapple Pete.
That doesn't count. You don't get both. MVP. You don't get different characters. So you're like Midian, and that's it. Okay.
Thank you,
so
Bob.
you don't.
Thank you, Bob.
Hold on. Not Mid-South Wrestling Junkyard Dog. WWF Junkyard Dog.
Look, you only get one of them.
WCW Junkyard Dog when he clearly was out of shape.
Oh God.
I was like, okay, hold up. Here is my lovely co-host of the Jill stream, Miss Jill B. Peel.
She knows what's up.
Yeah, and by the way, to all
he is on a lot.
We will be live tomorrow on the Jill stream, and the subject will be Will and Jada Smith at the Red Table. I am very much looking forward to talking to Jill about the Red Table Talk conversation that
I think
Jada
it's going to be more talking at Jill.
No, it will be very interesting. So I'm looking forward.
Let me hijack it real quick. We got 20 hanging out in the live chat.
20? Holy cow.
A handful of thumbs up. Go smash that like button. Let's blow this thing up. We're glad you guys are here, man.
Yeah. Let's
We're rocking and rolling. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
MVP is apparently triggering people. So he's no Butch Reed
because he sucks.
Butch Reed. I never thought I understood why he didn't get to become the man there. Let me see. He's no Butch Reed. Let's see. I can rattle off 30 as well. Probably more.
Damn cool. Good.
Coco Beware. He's no Ernie Ladd's a Hall of Famer.
Hell, there's more talent in his little state. Can I say this? This is extremely offensive, and I'm going to say it anyway. Why is the WWE like prison?
Pistol Pete.
Why is the WWE like prison? All the black guys got to be together in a segment. All the Hispanic guys got to be together in a segment, and all the white guys got to be together in a segment.
Dude.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
All right. Normally, I would agree with you. The one thing I'll say is this. If you look at every other wrestling show and see how many people of color they have, black people specifically, it's all in the WWE. And it's almost like, I mean...
No, it's not.
Wait, what are you saying? That only the WWE hires black people?
No, what I'm saying is, I've said it before, they kind of are collecting their Pokemon, is what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Yule is here. Pick up your t-shirts now, folks.
Look, I'm talking about WWE. I'm not talking Yule here, okay? What I'm saying is, now we are at least getting legitimate combinations of black people because there are so many black people within the company. It's not just like these were the 4 black people we have,
but
obviously put them together.
Sure,
now
but
there is
not...
a lot of different combinations of people of color that we're getting now. And I know the Latinos, but I mean, come on, let's be serious. There's sections of town where certain people live, and it's just the way it is sometimes.
Oh my God.
I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just saying.
Anything but a bad way.
Should I cook this?
You're telling me there's no neighborhoods where, like, the mission that
We're not talking about a neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't need my wrestling like that. I don't need my wrestling to be MVP rallying all the black guys and saying, hey, I can make you a superstar. And then over here you got Zelina Vega with all the Hispanic dudes saying, I can make you a superstar. Meanwhile, there's a white dude on top.
Oh, God. That is not good.
All right, I'm out then.
Oh my God!
I don't mean it that way, but I understand what you're saying.
No,
well, in a few days we will do a video segment with Yule apologizing.
No, look, it's fine. It's fine. I would say sorry right now. If I thought that way, I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying.
Sometimes stereotypes are accurate, is what you're saying.
When the glass.
No, not at all. Not at all. It takes a lot of effort. Look, in the comic book store, it takes a lot of effort for somebody that is not into comic books to come into a new place like that. It is hard, even if you are into comic books, to come into a new comic store you're not familiar with. It's just a society. What was that?
I get mugged in the comic store?
No, it's not that. People are weird.
I think he was saying you would mug people in the comic store.
Oh, wow.
Well, no. Stop that. What I'm saying is, look, when there is a...
Heel Yule. It's Heel Yule. I'm just saying.
Wait. That's
what I heard.
Boogie.
That's what I heard.
That's a paradigm shift of racism from Boogie Bentley.
No, that was not.
That's not totally true.
I'm complaining about the racism Hill's defending, or Hill Yule's defending.
I have no way at all am I defending it. What I am saying is that in the old days when there was only a certain amount of people, it was way more obvious for it to be that way. What I'm saying now is they are a more inclusive company. Even Vince McMahon, with all of his stuff that he always does, it is a way more inclusive company, and it's just the way it is because there is the way it is, I mean, come on.
You're trying to say that they just gravitate to that naturally?
No, I think there was an initiative within the company to hire people of color and, get something that wasn't the norm. And I mean, you are seeing a lot less white people, okay, short white people, short white people, one black person and another black person over here. Let's put them together.
Take your sunglasses off and listen for a second.
Right.
Rocky Manus just said it in the chat. He's like, no, you can't. It's not just WWE. Look at Impact Wrestling. There's a difference in Impact. The Willie Mack, Chris Bay, like there are people being highlighted and put over. It's the same in AEW. The problem is when you're like, well, only the black people can hang out together. Clearly, they've got to be in a faction. Only the Hispanics can hang out together. No, make them legitimate people. That's it. Don't force it. Don't force it. It's forced. There's an issue.
LWO faction, because WWE owns that. They should bring the LWO back because
it's happening right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like have Latino heat, man. Show some love to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. We're getting called. This is all a work just to sell heel.
What if I was saying?
No, go ahead.
Hey, maybe it is. Whatever. At least there's some spit.
Oh God.
No, I don't know if that was what I was going for. I just think it's a little bit more
diverse.
Yeah, diverse, and it might be even your cup runneth over is what I'm saying.
It just seems like it's compartmentalized diversion.
Well, I mean, who would you split up to put together? Who would you put in? I mean, all right. Firstly, let's say MVP was good. Okay, let's say he is. Let's say Antonio's right. This guy's a great talker. He really puts people. He is a uniter.
I want you to continue. You said, let's say he's a good talker. Yeah. That's where I'll defend him. If you let him talk for Bobby Lashley and let Lashley wrestle, I'd be happy.
Yeah,
quit putting on that fat man singlet and wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Yul. Sorry.
But he is going to be wrestling, of course.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's say MVP is everything you need. He gets other people over. Who would you put him with that needs to be put over?
Well, one person.
And who would be good with him also is the other thing. Bobby Lashley, yeah, makes sense. Can't talk. Sheamus.
I would just put him with Bobby Lashley and leave it at that. You don't have to have a stable. You don't have to have this big.
They've been in love with stables forever, and they always
go around randomly collecting the Infinity Negro.
I'll tell you what. The minute Titus O'Neil is involved, I'll give you that's what's going on. How's that? But until then,
Titus O'Neil,
you can have any other person.
I can't wait till he shows up next week. By the way, MVP's like,
That's why he's going to win the belt this Sunday.
Oh, God. What the heck is happening?
There you go. Boom.
What did you guys I'm going to try and bring this back here. What did you guys think about the Viking Raiders Angel Garza Andrade match?
Whoa. Why was it an elimination match, Bob?
I don't know.
They don't know either.
They don't.
No, they don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know anything about what's going on anymore.
They make it an elimination match, and Eric, I think is Ray Rowe's name, gets eliminated and leaves ringside. And then Andrade gets eliminated, and he stays at ringside to cheat. And that's great because heels should cheat, but baby faces shouldn't be made to look stupid. So the match is stupid. Why is it an elimination match? It's terrible.
Well, this is like the modus operandi of Raw. They have good matches, but with stupid endings or stupid stipulations added to them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Viking Raiders versus Andrade and Angel Garza on paper is money. That's money match. That's a great match.
Same thing with and the whole thing with Bianca Belair coming out with Ruby Riott. I mean, I like the fact that Bianca Belair is back on the air and actually wrestling, but it makes no damn sense.
Why is she thrown into a random tag team that makes no sense, and they beat the Iconics, who are the hottest heel tag team on the roster?
Oh, what would you have, Boogie? Would you have Bianca team with a black woman? Is that what you're telling me? Would that make more sense?
I thought that's what you wanted.
I thought that's what you wanted.
Just joking.
I want her to come back. I actually don't want her to come back. Well, as long as her husband stays away, she can come back.
Yeah.
You're talking about two good singles wrestlers. Ruby Riott's a good singles wrestler. Bianca Belair, a good singles wrestler. You put them in a random tag team, and they beat a legitimate tag team who you've already destroyed because Bayley and Sasha beat them. Yeah. Rocky Maina said it a couple weeks ago. They're the hottest thing on Raw, and they've been buried since they came back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shayna Baszler
other than Bianca Belair, right?
I'm talking way too much.
Yeah. Then Shayna Baszler comes back, and it's just like, okay, so we're supposed to just forget that you buried the hell out of her the last couple of months and then took her off the air? It's, I mean, do you think this is going to rehab her?
She had to run off two men too. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wait, who
'Cause
were
she's a
they?
cage fighter.
Who were the two men?
R-Truth and Tozawa, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm not.
Archer. She
That's
basically
fine.
interrupted the whole 24/7 stupidity.
That's fine.
That's
I like
fine.
that too. Don't say
I
anything.
forgot.
Raw was less of a crap show than SmackDown, but only just.
Yeah, it was still bad.
And the stipulation that they set forward is going to be is absolutely just one of the dumbest things in the world.
And they validated it through that entire, like the whole segment. I mean, you had 2 matches back to back that involved all those people, and they validated it the entire time that to win, you have to pluck a human being's eyeball out of his skull.
And there's going to be a CGI, which that again, we will be back here on
CGI
for the horror show at Extreme Rules. We will be live streaming the
I'm
pay
going
per
to be
view
drinking a lot
right
that night.
here.
I'll be out of town, but I may try to drop in the chat.
We'll be streaming it in right here.
What Frank and Jilby Peel that like to stream these pay per views with us. So we have a lot of fun when we stream those pay per views. So please come hang out with us. Either on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. It's like wherever you're seeing this podcast, we will be back. On Sunday.
I would almost rather slam my tongue in a sliding glass door than watch that pay per view.
I have to see how, because I'm going to roast them if the hokey CGI dangling eye thing, if they try to get real graphic with it, if it just looks all hokey, because I assume Rey Mysterio is going to lose that match to Seth Rollins.
Because he's not signed, right?
Well, yeah, because he's
just working on a match-to-match contract. So.
Will it be the same eye that he already has injured, or will it be the other one, and then he'll come out with like a cane? That'd be
Do
great.
you really think they're going to do it?
Instagram, and he had he was covering one of the
You
the
can
bad
cover
eyes.
both the eyes, and you still see through because it's lucha mask, right?
Do you really think they're going to try to pull it off that somebody gets their eyeball ripped out?
Yes.
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
They put out a press release about that this is the stipulation.
Dude.
So I'm like, but yeah, the leaks. About
Remember when there was? Remember in Lucha Underground when they murdered somebody?
They did.
Oh my god!
But at least when you were
That was
watching Lucha
awesome.
Underground, at least you knew you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
It's just stupid. This is. I actually had to double check the roster to make sure Vince Russo wasn't working there again.
Is this going to be worse than when all the maggots were on the mat when they were fighting in some Bray Wyatt match? Him and Randy Orton or somebody?
That was
remember that
this week too.
Oh yeah, that's the swamp match.
We should go over all of the Bray Wyatt gimmick matches and figure out which are the best ones. What do you say?
I just want WWE to stop shitting in my soul.
Well, here's the thing, because we're getting ready for SummerSlam. What, next month? Are they doing it in September? I thought SummerSlam was next month.
Oh crap! I had
there were reports that Brock Lesnar was going to be back for SummerSlam. Now I'm hearing that because they were hoping to get the crowds back by then. They were
no crowds, no Brock.
There's definitely not going to be the crowds for SummerSlam. So now they're like, well, damn, if we're bringing Brock back. There was even a thing on What Culture where it was saying that Brock might not return until the beginning of next year.
Yeah, Vince does not want to bring Brock back until there's an audience.
He makes an audience in an appearance, like when you're having to pay him based on the.
Yeah, I think Brock.
The work.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Yeah,
did I robot? That's one of the reasons why he wanted to get the belt off of Goldberg at WrestleMania, because Goldberg, remember Goldberg wanted to keep the belt because he wanted
like $1 million for an appearance.
And then and they're having to pay him like $700,000 just to show up on television, and they're like, "No, we can do that way cheaper, son. Let's get that belt off of you and give it to Braun Strowman."
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think what's going to happen. Here's the question. Somebody threw this up in a Reddit thing. I don't think this is going to happen, but at the same time, as tasteless as WWE has been lately, do you think that they will use the Eddie Guerrero "I'm your dad" thing in this.
Oh, I wish.
Dominic.
I wish. They keep calling him Dominic Mysterio. That is incorrect. It's Dominic Guerrero. We all know so. We all know.
You know how many people that would piss off? Be like, dude, you guys are going to crap on Eddie's.
Not Vicky. She could play that up on the other show. My son is being exploited on the other show.
She played up some stuff that I dug in her promo. I don't know if everybody else caught it.
Yeah, screw Raw. It's
let me hit the Impact Report if we're going to move on. It'll take me 2 seconds because you guys know I've been putting Impact over for weeks because I'm so excited for Slammiversary, all these promos, all this work they've been doing for Impact Wrestling. Slammiversary is going to be huge. It's still going to be huge. But this was the go-home show. This is the go-home show. This is where you hook all those people that are on the fence. Are they going to watch it or not? This is where you hook them. And the show was absolutely terrible. It was terrible. Only 3 wrestling matches. One of them was the Knockouts division. It was a 10-woman tag match. It was fine. Yeah. It was okay. But it was just kind of pointless. And then you had the Deaners versus Triple XL. Again, short match, nothing special. The Deaners win. Triple XL put steam on them, kind of showing they're going to be heels. Whatever, it's fine. And then you got Crazy Steve and Tommy Dreamer beating Moose and Rohit Raju, and that's it. But this is the cream of the. This is the cream of the. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Rhino and Hernandez, who have been having an arm wrestling match for a week straight. It started last week, arm wrestling match. It went on for a week on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's everywhere. You can see these 2 guys arm wrestling. It leads into a backlot brawl cinematic match. Music, camera angles. It was so bad that at one point I said, is this real life or are they making fun of everybody else for doing cinematic matches? It was that bad. The money was on the line from the arm wrestling match. Eventually they decide to just split the money. And they walk out of the parking lot. The show goes off the air with Trey and Ace Austin brawling, which was that's the way you do cinematic stuff. It was kind of cool. But overall, not a good go-home show. I'm still excited for Slammiversary. I got my Impact shirt on. I got Bob to watch it. Bob, tell me how bad it was.
It took me a while to figure out what the hell I was watching. I didn't. The Rhino thing, I 110% took that as they were taking a jab at WWE.
It felt that way, and if that's the case, that's fine.
It made any sense because
they just did a cinematic match like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So were they making fun of themselves?
I don't know.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
I don't know, man. I still want to encourage everybody to watch. I want to encourage everybody to watch Slammiversary. I'm expecting a good show. I'm going to watch it live, even though I'm driving 10 hours in the car on Saturday. I'm going to get to the house. I'm going to set up the computer. I'm going to watch it, and then I'm going to do a video immediately after. So if anybody on the panel is going to watch the pay-per-view and wants to jump on with me, we can do it and make a video and post it. Let me know. We'll figure it out. But that's over on the Talking Balls Network, so be looking for that on Saturday night late. That's it. Sorry.
All right. So before we close out with AEW Fight for the Fallen.
We haven't started that, right?
No. Well, yeah, that's what we're gonna. I want to finish with them, but I do want to touch on NXT because obviously there was a massive ratings drop, and there was the announcement that Tegan Knox has come out of the closet, and no one cared. Nope. I don't.
TMZ wasn't there, you mean?
I was like, this is a nothing burger. She's a lesbian. So what? I don't care. Can she work in the ring? That's all I care about. That's it.
She can't, but she didn't do a great job of it last night.
No.
It was a very mediocre match.
It was her uppercuts were like, it took an hour for them to, like, she looked like she was in a swimming pool pulling off the moves.
They did a lot of stuff where it was like the timing and placement was bad. It's like, let me take 2 steps here so I'm in place where I need to be. A lot of that. And then if the moonsault's going to be your finish, you better hit it. Don't give me that stick your arms out stuff. That don't.
I was like, she's going to ruin her knees if she keeps doing it that way. I mean, it's already a bad move for your knees, but
no. It was just a mess hard, man. I mean, it was like even Thatcher's match was just kind of.
All right, here's the thing. This is the problem, and I mean, it was a good match. The best matches of the night for NXT were a Damian Priest match with Beardy McBearderson. You didn't like that at all.
I can't stand him, man.
I don't like him at all, but it was one of his better matches. And Grimes is the guy.
Grimes is great.
I will give Grimes a lot of
good
credit,
match.
Man. He carried the hell out of Priest.
And I really liked the Shotzi and the other woman. I can't remember. Indy. It wasn't a great match, but as far as a story that was going and building for an undercard character, it was a really good match for that part of the show, I thought.
And do you not love Robert Stone? Robert Stone's great.
Yeah, he's very good at playing that character, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with it.
If he's not spewing all the time.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah. That was terrible. I agree with you, Yul. I agree with everything you just said about that match. It was fine. Like, it didn't blow my mind, but it doesn't need to. It's the second match, and they managed to build the undercard. So I agree with you there. That match did what it was supposed to do. And I love Robert Stone.
And the thing is, the Keith Lee match was good, but where it was on the show, the fact both belts were being, if you knew that Dijakovic is moving up to the top,
it should have been the main event, and you go off air with Scarlett coming out and the busted timer and all that stuff.
And here's the thing. That is boring. It's just boring because we've seen that match how many times?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another thing. Well, that's the reason why they put it there. I guess.
Why didn't you have him getting challenged by somebody else?
That's like the UFC booking a fight and being like, we know who's going to win, so we're going to put it third instead of the main event. It's like, no, like sell it as if we don't know what's going to happen.
Well, and there was no setup for it anyway. So that was the other thing. So you better hope as champion this is not going to be a continuing thing.
If it is,
that's going to be a problem.
If it is, it would be a complete waste of him being the champ. It would be a complete waste of him making history, being the first double champion. It will be, and I'll tell you something. If they book like this for a couple of weeks in a row, that will absolutely be the end of it.
It's like Cornette said, they killed the town.
Yep.
Killed the territory.
Two questions. All right, so if it continues to be bad, is this going to affect Keith Lee negatively as far as how they see him going up to the main roster?
Absolutely. Yes.
And who do you start feuding with him other than Karrion Kross?
Well, yeah, that's
other than him, and is that really going to do it? I guess it's three questions. Other than him, who do you have him feud with?
I think he's going to beat Karrion Kross, and then he's just going to move on. You'll figure out where to go from there.
Ooh.
I think
the big question is what do you do with Karrion Kross after that?
I think he's only in NXT temporarily. I think the intention was always to move him up to the main roster at some point.
Then you shouldn't have put both belts on him. Because what are you going to do?
No,
you make history, and then
you mean Karrion?
Okay.
I think him being in NXT is a stopgap.
Then he could lose immediate, like I said, that would be perfect. Lose to Keith Lee and then go to the main roster. That's fine.
But that's not showing. And I mean, the problem is we all know Keith Lee's moving up, and if I say, well, that's not. I thought we all said that he's not getting any younger, right? And his time to, the iron is hot, right? Is he gonna? Are they hoping that he's gonna make NXT a success? Charlotte Flair wasn't bringing in 1 million people.
Oh, that was horrible. Oh yeah,
Finn Balor isn't doing it.
We didn't talk about Charlotte and her
broken boob
and her broken boobs and her breast implants.
This is not the first time.
No,
she's had problems before.
I was actually very surprised by this because I thought this was already taken care of, but apparently they just did like a stopgap measure on her. And
well, she talked about the first when her implant ruptured, I guess, a few months ago. And if they had really, really taken care of it the right way, she would have been able to perform in WrestleMania, she said. So there was a quicker fix. And so she went with that would mean that she would not be out as long. And she probably should have went the longer route and got it fixed the correct way because obviously it ruptured again. And then, I was also surprised that she actually had the silicone because I know a lot of the women are getting those the saline. Yeah, the saline aren't as good. The silicone does look more natural, but it seems like the saline when they rupture, you don't
It's
get
safer.
you get the silicone poisoning and stuff. So she's in the last few months, she's had her silicone implants ruptured twice, and she was talking about how nauseous and sick she was and all that. She didn't realize how and then obviously she got examined and they found out that her implant had ruptured, and then it ruptured again. So that's
Why
why
did she do it? I mean, I think she must like it, personally, because she goes so big.
and
You know?
she.
I mean,
I think
and she's had
Vince likes that
problems
look
with
to her,
it.
though. They like that looking Sable, and Vince
This is
still
a different era. You can get away with a smaller
likes
cup
that.
size. I mean,
Vince is still Vince, man.
there have been
Diva
times when
look
I look at a
still-
woman in wrestling and I'm like, I think she might, benefit. But the thing I'm thinking is through their lens. I'm not saying it me personally. But Charlotte has the name. She does not need. She has
And
the
she can
size. She can work. Yeah, she's got a lot more assets than just fake boobs. So that I kind of have. So I'm not going to question her hardcore about why she does it. I assume it's because she kind of is down with it. But man, I liked her when she. I'm gonna say like maybe it was Wade Keller. I forget which one it was. Meltzer. I liked her when she was smaller.
What do you want me to tell
He
you?
was talking about the Iconics and how they worked better when they were a smaller cup size, but he said it inartfully.
Shut up.
And
You liar.
that's what he was saying. I think he was trying to say they suck as workers, but he was trying to give their past kudos. Is really what it was.
Here's the thing: if you're gonna wrestle that's that kind of style that Charlotte, because Charlotte's in-ring work is solid. So if you're gonna wrestle that kind of style, the larger implants don't seem to work with that as well. They're not as
That's
you know.
they're so out there, man. It's like Charlotte walks out and she's it's crazy. It's like beach balls.
Yeah. So we want to move on to Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I like talking about boobs, but yes,
Thanks-
we have to
thanks,
close this
Bob.
out with Fight for the
Yes.
Fallen. So, Fight for the Fallen. This was kind of branded like it was going to be another pay-per-view quality show. Obviously, they did Fighter Fest 2 weeks in a row, and those were solid. Especially the second week, I thought was incredible. We obviously check those shows out on our streaming platforms and whatnot, but definitely check those out. I thought the four of us had good time, and we streamed those shows as well. Fight for the Fallen. I thought it was good, but it just seemed like a regular AEW Dynamite broadcast.
It was just like Fighter Fest. It was a beefed up regular show.
Yeah.
The timing hurts it too, but when I was thinking about this, didn't last year they do Fighter Fest free on Fight TV?
Yep.
And then they
Yeah.
followed it up with Fight for the Fallen. One of them was free and one of them wasn't. But I don't know. The timing just feels weird to do this 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I think they might want to spread this thing out going forward, man. It was just too much back to back to back like
Or
that.
if you want to do like a Fighter Fest and make it like a Clash where it's free on TV and then make Fight for the Fallen something you pay for, I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, part of it also was the fact that Fighter Fest was 2 days instead of one this time.
Right.
Hey, RT Bears in the chat. What's up, brother?
Hey, all right. Hey, what's going on? The great
Stop
RT.
by. We're gonna bore the hell out of you because you don't know what we're talking about.
Wait, he doesn't know anything about wrestling?
Nope, we're gonna learn him.
Huh.
All right, I gotta bring this up because I know this is gonna cause a bring that Cody versus Sunny Kiss.
Okay. Let's
Go ahead, Antonio. It ties in with Tegan Knox, right?
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. This is why sometimes I would criticize AEW because they have been getting Sonny Kiss just stomped out week after week after week after week. AEW, go watch AEW Dark, and it's not helping when they put Sonny Kiss's record up, and you see how many matches Sonny Kiss has lost.
And
Wins
Sonny Kiss
matter.
have Sonny Kiss teaming up with Brandon Cutler, if that gives you an idea. Brandon Cutler hasn't won a single match.
So let me be controversial. Is Sonny Kiss a purse puppy here? You don't think so, Yule?
I think Sonny Kiss is a character in wrestling that is developmental talent, is what it was. Or they're there to help. Their enhancement talent is what they're.
So Sonny Kiss is 6-9 as a wrestler. Mm-hmm. Why did Sonny Kiss get this title match on TV?
No effing business being in this goddamn match.
Well,
period.
Why?
So that Cody could front. That's why. So you could be like, blah, 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 blah. Or so they could get negative outcry, and then people will be like, and then Cody could come out looking like the hero and say, look what I'm doing. I'm hanging out with this person, and I'm going to hug him afterwards and everything, you know? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Is it so I can get some press, maybe?
For the last few weeks, if for like the last like 4 or 5 matches, Sonny had just suddenly gone on a tear.
Oh, yeah, totally.
This would be a different discussion.
Yeah.
But he consistently losing, and suddenly you're just
in tag matches too.
And not only that,
and it's like we've said over and over and over. When you tell me that you as a company is going to be sport based and records matter, and then like Yule said, you flash it on the screen that Sonny Kiss is 6-9 and getting a title shot.
9, bro. All right.
Oh God.
I like Sonny Kiss actually. I thought the vignettes that they were doing. Understandable, Antonio. There were some problems.
With the cheerleaders, and they were doing the whole dance.
But
no,
that entrance was fun.
The Joey Janela stuff has been. I'm with Yule. I've dug it, and I actually
creative.
like them as a tag team.
Yeah, it's very atmospheric. I mean, unfortunately, they got put up against the buzzsaw.
Yeah, but I'm saying, even as a tag team with Joey Janela, still losing.
Well, yeah, and exactly. No reason to be in this match.
Right. So know your place on the card.
So, of course, assholes had to go and get on Twitter and say all sorts of things about Sonny Kiss. And, Cody came out and was like, and I think that's kind of like part of the play, a little bit of it, kind of like courting it.
That's a good point.
I'm courting negative activity, so I can
only and pretend records matter for so long, but it's how you handle a loss. Let's look at Lance Archer. Mm-hmm. Built up as a monster, faces Cody, loses, recycles, starts going on a tear again. You work your way back up. Look at MMA. Like I know I can
about Lance Archer because he just fighting jabroni after jabroni, and he's not in the hunt again.
But he's building back up. That's what I'm saying. You can't just. It's like when Chael Sonnen came off of a loss and fought John Jones, went up a weight class and fought John Jones. It's like, this is stupid. Like he talked his way into that, and it's like I know I compare wrestling to MMA way too often, but it's because we're talking about working versus a real sport. If you're going to claim this as a sport, I'm not saying that he did book himself, Jill. I'm blaming AEW for that.
Right. I'm not. I don't blame Sonny for this.
Not at all. Not at all.
He's just doing his job. It just and not only that, but you see Sonny coming out and getting absolutely annihilated by these guys like mid-carders and stuff like that, and whatnot, and then goes in the match and damn near beats Cody.
Yeah, that was
just weird. I'm like that.
That match went way too long.
He's supposed to.
It went a little long for me too. I agree with you, Yule.
I thought that should have been 5 minutes, and it went 10.5.
I thought Cody should have just. That should have been almost a squash match.
It should have been like what happens when he does the usual thing with developmental. He's controlling most of the match. They get a comeback. They get some offense in. He snaps out of it, and he ends it.
Well, there's a lot of storytelling with him not taking Sonny seriously, and Arn's getting on him. I kind of get that part of the storytelling, but at the same time,
it took way too long. It was just too long.
It doesn't make sense when you're like your personality and social media also. You know what I mean?
But what about
are you an advocate or aren't you? What are you? What are you in the ring then?
Are you an ally?
I'm serious. I'm very, very serious here, though.
all seriousness, people who call themselves allies, I don't trust those people.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
It
No,
is.
that's
It
also-
really
Well, I
is.
didn't say ally now, did I?
No, and I always say this on Twitter. Like if you go on someone's profile, they've got their pronouns and stuff, and I already know you a mad suspect. When I look at you, got your pronouns in your I'm like,
Hurts the back of my head because
I'm
my
gonna
eyes
edit my
roll.
Twitter. I gotta go edit my Twitter real quick. I'll be right back.
I'll tell you something right now, man. Anytime I see some guy say that he is a male feminist, I'm like, well, you're a snake. You're a liar. I mean,
Going down a weird road talking about
potentially-
following.
What are we talking about? British wrestling now?
I'm 100% sure that that real male feminists exist. I've never met one. Everyone I've ever met turned out to be a lion snake in the grass. So,
Yep.
but anybody here used to be a member of WMR? Not me. No.
What is that like the insane clown posse or something?
I'm a juggalo, bro.
What about, he says, I don't watch AEW at all, but I love listening to crap on it. Dude, AEW is actually good.
It is. You'll
is.
stop it. Stop it.
All right, let's go on to the FTR match then. Let's
You're
talk
talking about one
that.
episode. We're talking about one episode.
It is problematic of some of the things that have been going on for quite a few weeks now, since the beginning.
What didn't you like? Okay, go. Let's talk about the FTR.
I didn't like this match either.
The division of heel and face once again being confused in a match because of things they do.
Yeah.
In the Lucha Brothers, who is a heel? Are they heels or
They
faces?
should be heels.
They should be healed.
Yeah.
The problem
And
is
then
you're
the
making
FTR
FTR faces. They're portraying them as faces, which they shouldn't be. I think that's the biggest problem. That's
That
the
is
biggest
true.
problem.
So even if they were more stone cold, okay, so like a Punisher type,
more anti.
would you tear someone's mask off? If you had provocation.
Let me tell you something. I like the fact they did this. I don't like because I want them to be heels. They should be heels.
That's a heel tactic,
That's
obviously.
a heel tactic. They should be heels, and they need to make it clear going forward that that's what they are.
You know what the problem is with AEW? I'm going to tell it to you real simple.
Uh-oh.
Everybody that's ever gotten over has done so as a heel.
I disagree. The Bucks
disagree
got
with
over
that.
huge as
Dude,
baby faces. Cody is one of the best baby faces in the business. Kenny Omega over as a baby face.
Yeah. Although I
completely
do
disagree
I
with
do want
that.
to talk about that going forward because I like Kenny better as a heel. I do like Kenny better as a heel. I'm sorry.
Listen to the crowd. But when we still had a crowd, when Cody came up, we talked on this show
God,
that he might have been in the most over guy in wrestling, period.
That's because there's a lot of rubes where they travel to, I think.
That's making excuses, heel Yule. Take your stupid sunglasses off so you can see your TV screen.
Oh, if where they travel for AEW, if you sport just a little bit of blood, everybody thinks it's a great match.
Hey, whoa!
Give me a
How many
break.
times? Have
Oh,
they been
look, I bled 5
you're
stars.
Cutting me off. You're cutting me off, Yule. Now let me talk. How many times have they been to California, where the Young Bucks are from? Oh, they haven't. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the-
They're
exactly.
going once the crowd.
Remember? Oh yeah,
They're still over.
Yeah.
They're still over like Rover. Weird. That's weird.
Kenny was a better character in Japan. But his win someone actually compiled his win-loss record in AEW. It's better than it was when he was in Japan.
A lot of that's the tag run though with Page.
No, and I think I think he's reverting more to the Kenny that from Japan. So and I'll be honest with you, that's when I became a fan of his. Because
I want to talk about the main event, even though I actually enjoyed. Well, yeah, go ahead. I want to argue with Yule some more as well. I was going there.
I want to do that too, but I just wanted to. Excuse me.
Well,
I love that song she comes out to.
They gave her a new-
Excuse me.
Yeah, she was happy. I saw her tweeting earlier, and she was happy that they gave her a theme song.
You know why I liked her promo? Because when she was talking, she said to all the girls in the back, "Stop lying to yourselves. Admit that you will not cheat to win, and Nyla Rose is going to steal all your opportunities. Lie, cheat, and steal."
We lie.
Eddie Guerrero, baby.
I loved everything about
That
it.
was great.
I loved everything about it.
Vicky was very good. I thought it was a
I love the
very
little human-
focused, well executed promo. She did a great job.
And when there's a live audience, she's going to generate some serious heat.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
she always does. Well, and I think anybody that actually likes her is going to play along like you're supposed to also.
Sure,
And that's the fun thing. Like a Guerrero, you're going to spit venom at this person.
Yep.
You're loving doing that. And she's a Guerrero, man, all the way. Never trust a Guerrero.
That means that Vicky will never, ever get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she will.
She will.
She cares.
Everybody comes back around. I don't even know. Is she a Hall of Famer?
Isn't she already?
She's not even
She'd be a Hall of Famer as a executive manager type. You know, they put managers and stuff in.
man,
Donald Trump is in the friggin' Hall of Fame.
Come on, she can mention Eddie Guerrero again.
That's a celebrity
Love
deal. Dude, you got to be careful with this. Everybody's a Hall of Famer thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, let's not just put everybody in the Hall of Fame.
Why not? They already have.
When I think about managers, she's not on the top of the list.
Dolph Ziggler was a goddamn champ.
No, yeah, that and the stuff she did with Edge on SmackDown, I love that. You know, like the La Familia and all that. I love that whole angle. I remember.
Oh yeah, and then Edge was gonna marry her, and then he didn't, and he was
and all that.
Bobby Heenan, Vicky Guerrero, who's better?
Bobby Heenan.
That's not even a question. The
right, because one's a Hall of Famer and one's not.
Yeah, I think.
Don't make me bring up death right now, okay?
Yeah, oh man, I think Vicky Guerrero, if she, because she already talked about the fact that Vince cut her off because she didn't appear on AEW television. I thought Jericho was about to get in, and now Jericho's like, well, if I don't get in, that's okay.
He's the guy that he'll go in. There's no doubt about it.
He'll
when though, like 15, 20 years from now?
Who knows? Who knows how he wraps up his career? Does he just retire in AEW, or does he finish up his career and go back for one more run? Who knows?
They've never treated him well enough to where he really has to where he has to beg for it. They'll just give it to him.
I don't
eventually.
think the thing is if he went back for one more run, that would be usually they go back for one more run at the title.
Sort of.
But
I mean,
it hasn't been in the heavyweight title scene in years.
Yeah, all she needs to do is be famous for something, and they'll just Hall of Fame you.
Or they won't because your name's China and you used to date Triple H.
Until
you die.
Porno. Just don't do porno and Vicky.
Yeah, because that's what it was. Because that's what it was. Yeah. That's the only reason.
So far it's just a category of one right now. That's a man, so it's different.
He's a double inductee.
But not as Sean Waltman, right? Not as X-Pac. It says DX and as NWO, right?
Yeah, DX and NWO.
NWO induction.
There are no rules.
I'm just saying, as of right now, he isn't hurt. The 1, 2, 3 kid ain't in there. All right?
He was supposed to get inducted in for WrestleMania. Obviously, there were no crowds, so they pushed that to SummerSlam. Now we're not going to have a crowd for SummerSlam. So are they pushing the Hall of Fame induction back again?
Do you really need a live audience for the Hall of Fame?
No, but they want the pomp and circumstance.
Why? Those people suck in the crowd anyway. I hate them.
Hold off on it because they're not going to have. We're probably not going to have audiences in the United States until next year. It's not like it is
football. So my freaking YouTube channel is going to go under. Is that what you're telling me, Bob?
We still got wrestling, baby.
Let's go, man. But hey, we haven't talked about the most important match. That night.
The Nightmare.
The Nightmare Sisters versus.
What is happening on the show?
They're crap, is what they are. They have to get Brandy on your television, and this is the new way to make it happen.
If they're not going to kiss each other, I don't want to watch them. I'm just being honest about it. If they're not going to make out with each other, I don't want to watch them wrestle.
They're continuing that story with QT. Where is that dude?
He's got the virus, bro.
Oh,
he's got the coronavirus. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Godspeed, man. But not back to AEW television, please.
You just buried him.
Sorry.
But yeah,
they're terrible. They're terrible. Why did you bring this match up, Bob? You're like, the one important match, and I'm like, okay, finally I get to argue with Yule about Brian Cage and Moxley, and you bring up this bullcrap when we're already 10 minutes into overtime, Bob.
I hated it. But all right, let's talk about that match then, man. What did you think?
I loved it. And Yule didn't like it. But actually,
I do like it.
You know what was funny was when we were talking about it and you said FTR and the Lucha Brothers was your favorite match. And then you kind of backtracked a little bit and you said they did some fun in-ring stuff. And then the Brian Cage Moxley was better psychology-wise. So which match do you think I'm going to like better?
The psychology one.
Yeah. I loved it because Cage was the big dude just beating down Mox. And I love that Mox is working the arm. Even when they start brawling and, they're talking about, it's a title match. It's a playoff atmosphere. They're letting them brawl on the floor. He's still working the arm. And I love that. Where I have a problem with it is when you get to the end. And Mox is doing the most sloppy transitions when you're watching jiu-jitsu. And he's doing the sloppiest armbar in the history of armbars. He tries to transition to an omoplata. I know I'm speaking foreign language, but it's complete garbage. And then he ends up going for the armbar on the right arm when he's been working the left arm the entire match. That's a problem for me. Otherwise, I really like the match. I know that's nitpicky, but that's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't always catch that different arm stuff sometimes because, I look away from the screen sometimes and I just am not really focused until I become focused.
I gotta wonder how much of the transitions came from the fact that his arms are like tree trunks.
Yeah, really. Those are going. Well, that's interesting.
Then don't try to transition from an armbar to an omoplata if you can't do it.
So for his story, I thought the Taz throwing in the towel was pretty okay. I mean,
I like the finish.
It protects Cage. I don't. I get it. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know, man. I always thought those towel things were supposed to be stipulated. So like if Arn Anderson throws in the clipboard, is that enough?
What if you don't have a manager? Yeah. What if you don't have a manager?
Oh well, your brother can come down and throw his shirt in the ring. It doesn't big deal.
Okay. I agree. Yeah. I actually agree with Frank here. I agree with Hollywood here. I think at the end, Cage should have lost his crap and just started wrecking everything.
Well, and then he got into a fight with Darby Allin at the end also.
Right.
And it's like, wow, did you just basically squash Brian Cage and so that he could have a Darby Allin feud and it's on somebody else for Jon Moxley.
Oh, well, they're throwing back to when you go back to the pay-per-view where Cage is the one that put Darby Allin out.
I gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of people have forgotten that, by the way.
Well, but again, true, Jim Ross and they did a good job on commentary, kind of, and they did a good job selling Taz throwing the towel in, live to fight another day, all that crap, and this buys you time. It's what we always say. Okay, Cage comes in, everybody's hype, he loses. Now what? Now you give him an out. Taz threw the towel in. Now he's got this Darby Allin feud. We can do something with that, and then give somebody else to Mox, and we can continue to build back, bring Brian Cage back.
But just like Sonny Kiss, Brian Cage, other than getting, Taz getting in Moxley's face, there was no reason for them to even have a confrontation.
Who?
Cage and Moxley. I mean, there's
the title. The title. Cage is the big.
What has Cage done to deserve it other than coming in?
He won the ladder match.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
take your sunglasses off and talk to me, brother.
All right, I forgot.
Now you got to take your sunglasses off when you apologize.
Brian said it totally kills any potential heat for the FTW title. Dude, the FTW title.
I told you guys that last week. I told you that.
I said that too because I was like, that doesn't make sense for him to lose, and then now I've got this belt.
Who told you that? Who told you that last week that belt meant nothing? And you guys are like, really? And I'm like, yes, really. It's meaningless.
Hey, highlight the heel loss in there, man.
Yeah, I like that. Oh,
yeah, Bob's like, put me over some more, brother.
How many views have you had on those videos?
I don't know, man.
The New Japan Cup Finals has like 800 or 900, but it's not. YouTube is like taking 48 hours to update views, so I see it on my analytics though. But it was Japan. Like I looked, I was like, why did the views skyrocket? I told you guys at like 3 a.m, they skyrocketed for like 4 hours. And I went and looked, and 50% of the views were in Japan. So thank you for watching from Japan.
Yes, thank you very much. And it was, dude, it was interesting. Like just talking about the crowd thing. It's unfortunate because over there, because of the cultural differences, they can go back to having crowds now. Because they'll take they have all these precautions and all these stipulations in place they have to follow, they'll follow them. Over here we're so argumentative that would never be able to fly. So
we need an emperor, is what we need.
They don't have an emperor in Japan anymore, dude. God damn it! I know, but no.
Put the sunglasses back on.
I thought I had to take them off if I'm wrong.
When do you think we're gonna have live? I don't think we're gonna have live audiences back in the U.S. until next year.
I hope we play football in like a month.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
but I'm hearing about the NFL and stuff playing in stadiums with no fans.
Yeah, the Seahawks will just pump in the music like they always do, and then it'll be like 25 whatever decibels.
Well, it's weird because they're saying, "Oh, we're not going to play college football," but yet, like Antonio said, they're talking about playing the NFL. The NBA's talking about coming back. NHL is coming back.
NBA's coming back at the end of the month.
Yeah, so it's like, and Major League Baseball is coming back
less
in
than
a week?
10 days.
So why can we not play college football, but we can play all these other sports?
Because they're not in. They're
lies. They are in contact.
Yeah.
But it's funny you mentioned the crowd noise because you know what they're doing for soccer matches, right? They're pumping in crowd noise.
Dude, baseball's going to have cardboard cutouts of fans.
Wow.
I can't wait till a ball saws off someone's head. It's going to be great. And they're going to be people that own or they have the seats for the year. So it'll be like their likeness, supposedly.
Yeah. Heel Lawson, dude. Check out the the New Japan app is pretty cool, man. That Lions Break Young Lions show looks pretty cool. So definitely check that out. But actually, I've got in the next report, I'm going to have to do an addendum because I went back and rewatched that the main event for Dominion, and I got some problems with that friggin' match, man. It's way too damn long. It's slow as hell. I mean, I get the idea that it's interesting because the way we were talking about AEW and how they had to change all the way they book everything. New Japan had to do the same thing because they kind of copy their booking style from New Japan. They book these long drawn out storylines. Jado actually is known to book like anywhere from a year to 2 years in advance. So he's had to completely change. Like everyone was wondering what happened with Bullet Club and why Evil turned. It's because he lost a third of his friggin' roster. All of his foreign guys are unavailable. You got Moxley, who can't go even if he wanted to because he's the AEW champion. Osprey's out. All of his foreign wrestlers are out. So he had to completely change their storylines up, which is why they basically killed everything. So when are Buell and Boogie going to have their chop fest?
Oh yeah, we're going to have it. Oh, we're going to have it.
Hey, I'm telling you, if you guys want to join me
together
for the Impact video after Slammiversary, we'll do it then. I'll beat the hell out of Yule live on air.
I'll support you, but you know how I feel about that. So.
That's why I didn't invite you because I know you're not going to watch it. And no, it would have been my luck that you would have watched Impact this week when it was a complete dog turd. And you'd just be like, I told you.
What do you think about that report that FTR put out that they want to fight teams like the North?
Sign me up. That'd be great.
Because that part of their contract, they have that open contract like Moxley and them have, where they can go wrestle in other promotions.
FTR in the North would tear it up. Yeah. That'd be great.
They want to go there. They want to fight the Guerrillas of Destiny and the Briscoes, and dude, that could be really cool going forward.
Can we take this thing home? Are we done?
Yes, we can take this thing home. And now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. Well, we are going for now, but we will be back. Not only will I be back on the Jill stream tomorrow, we will be back this Sunday for the horror show at Extreme Rules here on the Atari Press channel. And then on Thursday, we're going to be on Talking Vols. You will be back from vacation or whatever by then, right?
No, I'll still be on vacation, but I'll be able to host.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we'll be back next week on Talking Vols Network. And other than that, please join us. We want you here. So with that being said, for Comic Book Bob, Yul Carter, Boogie Bentley, and of course, all you Outlaw Mud Show people out there. I'm Antonio Bryce. Please back Grand Way of the Gun at AkariPress.com. We're out.
Share this